Next on the Broadway show, it's Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club. I'm sitting down with the Tony-nominated MC, Eddie Redmayne. And we'll hear from more of this year's Tony nominees, including 2 of the stars of The Notebook. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is the Broadway show. Broadway's biggest stars and shows are right here on the Broadway show. I'm Tamsen Fadal. Let's get going. Welcome to Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club. It's sexy, it's sinister, it's a visionary new revival of the classic Broadway musical. It stars Oscar and Tony winner Eddie Redmayne as the MC. We had a chance to chat. Let's start with congratulations. You had 2 opening nights.
We did.
Tony nominations.
Yeah.
You're kind of getting a quite moment to catch your breath before the actual Tonys. Let's talk about Cabaret, though. I mean, what a show, and not just a show, but what an experience.
Oh, thank you for saying that. It's I'm pleased you found it an experience, because that was one of the things that we dreamt of with this show. It's, you know, Cabaret is so beloved, and by me more than anyone else.
Me too.
And I've seen so many iconic productions and performances of it that we thought, you know, the only reason to do it again is if you could bring something new. One of the ideas we had was, how do you create an evening for people? How do you sort of immerse people in an experiential thing that means that you leave everything, all your memories of the day out on Broadway, on 52nd Street, and get pulled and intoxicated into a different world, really. And so our designer, a wonderful man called Tom Scott, has completely converted the August Wilson. So you enter via a kind of back alley and you get taken into these bars, these sort of clandestine spaces, past musicians and dancers, and hopefully by the time you arrive into the theatre proper that's in the round, you've forgotten about your life, you've left those troubles outside, and you're ready to be drawn into this dark and beautiful world.
Once I was inside the theater, I didn't realize where I was.
Oh, good.
It's transformed so incredibly.
Well, it's meant to sort of discombobulate you, really,
It does.
as well. So that one of the things about Cabaret as a piece written by Kandra and Eben Masteroff is it presents as this sort of joyful celebration, and then gradually through these pieces of wonderful music that are so catchy and kind of at moments childlike almost, you don't realize that you're being skewered and that the story is going to quite a dark place.
Right.
And one of the things that we wanted to do, and you know, Tom in his design, there are sort of, if you look around the space, there are eyes everywhere. This idea of sort of being watched and being looked at, and as cast members, we kind of snake in and out of the audience and appear in places,
right,
perhaps your unexpected places. And that idea of the uncanny, like making you feel sort of titillated and seduced, but at the same time discomforted.
Now, when you come up and you have audience surrounding you on all sides, how is that a different type of performance? I don't know what it was like in the West End, but how is that a different performance for you?
Performance-wise, it's joyful. The MC is, you know, the other character in the scenes with him is the audience. And so having that intimacy, having the shift in that every night, having different audience members with different attitudes, with different histories, with different clothes. You know, one of the glorious things about this production is people come dressed to the nines.
Yes.
People come in fetish gear, people come in black tie, people come in jeans. You know, it's a wonderful mix, and the color of that and the diversity of that makes my job wonderful, because it shifts every night. It's pretty glorious to play. There's a lot of fun in there.
I can imagine. And you have a glorious cast that you're surrounded by. Any particular favorite moments that you have each performance, though I assume depending on the audience,
Gosh,
it
there are
changes.
so many. I mean, Gail Rankin for me is just, it's just been working with a volcano of talent. She's so free, and she brings this sort of comedienne-like quality to Sally. There's a moment when Atu's Cliff says, you know, can you just be serious for a minute? And she goes, I doubt it, Cliff. And you sort of believe this person plays through capricious kind of playfulness as a distraction and a tool, and yet when she breaks your heart, it's overwhelming.
nominations. Where were you that
Where
day?
was
What
I?
were you
Do
doing?
know, I mean, I'm not a musical theatre person,
Okay.
born and bred. So for me, the technical elements, the physical
Yeah.
elements of this show, doing it 8 times a week, are not something that I can sort of sit in that easily. So my first thing in the morning is getting in a very hot shower and doing a load of vocal warm-ups, sirens, lip trills, you know, to see, with slight fear, to see where the voice is at and whether we're going to be okay or not. And so I was in the shower, I got out the shower, and there were some phone calls, and it was wonderful. I was lucky enough, last time I was here, about a decade ago, to go to the Tonys, and there's no evening like it. It's so extraordinary, and I'm so thrilled I get to go.
Want to see more of my interview? Head over to Broadway.com for the extended cut. Illinois is now on Broadway. The dance musical nominated for 4 Tony Awards. We got to know the stars at their opening gala.
To be able to express this story and this heartache through movement to the music of Sufjan Stevens has been unlike anything I've ever experienced. It's like one of the few things I've ever seen, like everything really just mesh in the way that it has. The story is laid out in a way that really trusts the viewer, trusts the audience, and there's no dialogue in our show, and some of it is a little more abstract, but I think audiences have been hungry to be treated like, you know, thinkers.
Truly, it's a love letter to the dance community. I think it's a love letter to storytellers, really everywhere. This has been such a beautiful journey.
I didn't know that I would ever have the opportunity to dance like this on a Broadway stage. So it was maybe a dream that I had put on a shelf, but I'm really honored that I get to do it now. And we didn't expect to be here. So it's almost sweeter in that way that it just happened.
It's the most I've ever been able to dig my teeth into something as a dancer. And so as physically exhausting as it can be, I find it more emotionally exhausting, actually, for what we're doing in this. And at the end of the show, I feel like this huge catharsis energetically, because I get to like run the gamut of emotions through movement, but also emotionally. So it just feels different.
You know, I've been so inspired by Broadway musicals, and from a very young age, and then through today. And so to have the chance to actually like have this show exist in that realm is just like beyond.
It's a timeless love story. The musical adaptation of Nicholas Sparks' The Notebook is now on Broadway, and it's just as romantic as ever. Here's Paul Wontorek.
Hey Dorian, look at you, Tony nominee.
What's going on?
How you feeling? If I told you a year ago you're going to be at the Tonys next year, would that sound like something?
If you told me a year ago I was going to be doing anything,
So what were you doing a year ago?
Oh, I was back in LA, just hanging out with my family and playing pool.
Yeah, having a good life. I just can't even imagine what it was like to get this opportunity and then go on this ride. And now you're on Broadway, you're suddenly back on Broadway every night telling this beautiful story. People are reacting emotionally, and now.
Yeah, I'm so honored and just really grateful about it. But I'm most honored and grateful to work with this unbelievable cast that you've seen in what I consider the best musical on Broadway right now.
How crazy to be nominated for a musical again. Did you see that in your future?
Well, I try not to project into the, it's like young Noah says in our play, he says, if the mother says, what is your future? He goes, well, tonight I'm going to go home and go to sleep, So I try to not project it too far into my future.
But it's exciting to see you, for me, as a Broadway musical fan, to see you back in a big, beautiful musical.
Yeah.
And what is it like to be delivering something for audiences that is so like emotionally rich like that?
I mean, to be part of this glorious play and with the music that is it continues the dialogue. It's not numbers. It's part of when you can't just speak, you have to sing. And this company, everything, the vision of it.
Every time you're in a theater family, and I know you actually met your wife while you were both in a theater family,
yeah.
right? In Two Gentlemen of Verona,
That's right.
one of my favorite 70s musicals.
Yeah.
They're special bonds, these families, and I feel like the Notebook family is especially maybe because the show is so big-hearted, it feels like it's just a really nice group of people.
And it's touched so many people and continues to touch so many people. It's amazing how many families and just how many human beings have experienced this particular challenge, the challenge of Alzheimer's and dementia, and that know someone that has had to overcome those things and had to deal with them. That plus the main thing, the big thing, which is just the power and the universality of love itself. And this unique production is what makes it so exciting to me. It's one of the most unique presentations of human beings being involved with each other. As you can see, different sizes, different shapes, different colors, but it's all the one common thing, which is the human experience.
It's beautiful work, and I'm so thrilled that you're here. And thank you for telling this story every night. It's really lovely.
Well, thank you. It's my mom's story. My mom lived with dementia, and so it's a way to honor my own mom, and there are several parents of members of our company who are no longer with us and who lived with dementia also. So I feel I am still in here. You know that song, I Want to Go Back, of I am still in here, and fiercely and angrily sometimes and frustratedly, but still have those moments of joy of the light that does like this, sometimes. So I'm very grateful.
The Broadway show is back in just a sec.
So many times where I thought maybe this is too hard, maybe I'm not smart enough for this topic, maybe this is too, I don't know if I can really write the book. I mean, I really like a lot of doubt, but what kept me going is like my characters, these women I'm dramatizing, they did not give up. That's their defining characteristic. I feel grateful that I didn't give up, and that especially our team did not give up around me and believed in it through all of the storms and the pandemics and the challenges, and to get to be here to celebrate means everything.
I've been doing this for a while, and I've had many years where I haven't been nominated to things, and I'm very proud of that work, and I'm really proud of this work. For me, it's a moment to reflect on how lucky I've been to be able to be a part of this community.
The outpour of support and love from the community, like if I talk about it too in depth, like I get very emotional because it just feels good to be supported. It feels good to have people cheering for you and waiting for you with open arms, So it's humbling, and it just feels like a warm hug.
It's award season for the stars of the stage. The Tonys now just weeks away, but we're also excited to talk about the future of Broadway, the stars of tomorrow, the Jimmy Awards.
I look back to see where I've been, watching fade to black so my life can begin.
The Jimmy Awards is a huge and amazing event that happens in New York City every year, featuring the absolute best of the best musical theater talents from high schools all across America. Now on the lead up to the Jimmys, the Broadway show shines a spotlight on the students and the cities and the impact these competitions and awards have on those amazing teens.
My name is Maria Van Lannen. I'm the president and CEO of the Fox Cities Performing Arts Center in Appleton, Wisconsin. Our Center Stage High School Musical Theater program is an opportunity to really showcase, first of all, the strength of the programs in our community, and it gives our students an opportunity to really broaden their awareness of what career paths are possible within the industry and really get them excited about all that they can achieve when they pursue their dreams. And the idea that being able to participate in the National High School Musical Theater Awards, the Jimmys, at the end of this program is something that's very special. It is such a life-changing experience for our students, especially those who we've been able to spend this time in New York City as part of the Jimmy experience with them. And to a person, it has completely changed their trajectory. The feedback that they've received from the wonderful coaches that the Broadway League connects them with during the Jimmy's experience really helps them see themselves in new light and recognize that by just showing up and walking in the room, you've already made a difference.
Hello, McFly. Back to the Future is one of Broadway's biggest shows. Here's another exclusive musical performance from the Broadway.com studio.
one's for the dreamers, whoever tried to make it. Though very few ever break through, we celebrate them when they do. Lionize them, call them great, ticker tape parade them. But this one's for the dreamers, who strive to be a winner, go as far as they can take it, even if they don't quite make it. This one's for the dreamers. Let's hear it for the dreamers.
Welcome back to the Broadway Show. I'm Tamsen Fidel. Let's get back to it. We've been talking about it. It's award season for the stars of the stage. And not just the Tonys. The Chita Rivera Awards honors the best of dance and choreography on Broadway and in film.
It's a huge honor, especially to be recognized as part of an award that is dedicated to dance and movement. It feels really special.
Especially alongside this crop of nominees. It's just an expression of who we are, and I'm glad that people are responding to that.
For me to continue to have opportunities to lift up social dance and what it means to the community and what it means to me, and for that to be inside of theater and embedded into all of these different types of dance, for social dance to be one of those things that have been a part of the season has been great.
I mean, without the dancing, you're just watching a play. And really, they're the heartbeat of every musical, the ensemble. And I think everybody's amazing. All the nominees are extraordinary. And I feel really lucky that the Cheetahs acknowledged both shows. I really feel grateful that they saw how hard we worked with Heart of Rock and Roll and the buoyancy and the joy of that and the depth of Tommy.
After all these years, Merrily We Roll Along is one of Broadway's biggest hits. It features a cast of A-list stars and longtime Broadway actors. Here's Beth Stevens with another edition of Building Broadway.
Merrily We Roll Along, when it first came around in 1981 on Broadway, it was a bit of a heartbreak. It had a very short life. So what does it feel for you to be bringing it back to Broadway for the very first time?
I feel very honored because my dear friend Steve Sondheim, who I miss every minute in these rehearsal rooms, he feels very present at the moment with us. He gave our production his seal of approval and wanted it to come here, and I was working with him on it before he left us so suddenly. So I feel both massive elation that I kind of know we've got this wonderful thing to share with everybody, and also a bit heartbroken that he's not there to share it.
So you've been working on this piece for a long time.
Yep.
What was your approach when you first started out?
This incredible piece, as you know, goes backwards. We meet these people at the height of their success, having maybe made a few kind of difficult choices in their life, and we watch them quite alone and lost at the start of the play, and we track back and watch and discover with them where they might have made alternative choices, and we watch how that all track all the way back until they're young people on the edge of a rooftop with the whole world in front of them, and everything is possible. And so it changes, it morphs according to what age you're watching it from. So young people will have a different feeling to somebody of my age or somebody of your age, and the score is off the scale brilliant. It's joyous and brilliant.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle McClinton, and I play Satine in the national tour of Moulin Rouge, the musical. This is my dressing room at the fabulous Fox Theater. All the greats have been in here. These are my costumes. Satine is a lot, not gonna lie. She's a lot, and I'm about to show you my station. This is my station right now. An apple, because you gotta eat. Makeup, electrolytes, more makeup, candles, pictures of my family. It was just my birthday, so everybody got me some really great gifts. My favorite, take a deep breath and remember who the hell you are. Don't forget, kids. We hope you'll come see our show in Milwaukee.
May 14th through May 26th.
You don't want to miss it.
You
It's
you don't want to miss it.
It's a hoot and a holler.
And a weep.
And a weep.
Hoot and a holler and a weep.
Hoot and a holler and a weep. So we'll see you soon.
The Outsiders now on Broadway, and we've got a brand new vlog celebrating the show at Broadway.com, courtesy of Emma Pittman. She plays Cherry Valance. For full episodes of the vlog, head over to Broadway.com. And that's going to do it for us. But for tickets, or if you want to check out extended cuts of all these interviews, head over to Broadway.com. I'm Tamsin Fidel, and this is The Broadway Show.